Fuel your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just 1 tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition. Beetroot, nature's powerhouse. Packed with vitamins, antioxidants and nitrates, it's known to support heart health, boost stamina, and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried, and finely ground to preserve their rich nutrition content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie, or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure, and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Yeah, good afternoon, family. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Having an easy Monday. Hope you had a beautiful weekend as well. 21 minutes past the top of the hour, right in the 254. Being a beautiful, beautiful weather. Literally super, super hot in Nairobi. It's super, super hot. I don't know this weather. It's super crazy. Super, super hot, extremely. But I hope on your end, let me know what the time is. And of course, I'm going to be looking at some few weather updates because I know during this weekend, there was an announcement of a state of emergency literally in various cities, if I'm not wrong. Town cities, I don't know, but yeah, we're going to be looking at that, especially in New York. There was expected to be a storm. For those who are there, maybe can let us know the current situation of the weather, and of course looking at so many other conversation talking about the new world order, how BRICS actually is looking for to be expanding and moving faster, especially this is than Washington, and looking at also how the dollar is collapsing, more coming from the feds tearing down slavery memorial at Washington Philly House, and the city fires back with lawsuits. So we're going to be talking about that and how people felt about it. TikTok being taken down and experiencing major technical issues. That was for the last 24 hours. And this is after we saw the US taking full ownership of TikTok. But karibuni sana, a quick reminder where you can get yourself those organic supplements. It's at the Black Hot Fire Network application, which you can get at the Google Play Store. Which you can get at the Google Play Store. Black Hot Fire Network is the name in case you're using an Android phone. In case you're using literally a laptop or a TV, we have Amazon. We are on Amazon TV. We are on Roku TV. We are on the Android TV as well. In case you're using a laptop, you can just literally stream or listen to us via the website link as well, www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. Once again, karibuni. My name is Joby. We're going to be talking about the United States preparing for Iran to strike on Iran. But like I said, we have also those other more conversations on the way. Karibu sana, Keith. How are you doing today?
Asante Sana, Joby. I guess the weather's not as bad as they said it was going to be down here in the south. I supposed to left out yesterday. They told me don't leave out till today, but it's cold as shit, yes. But it's not snowing. Not snowing everywhere. It's cold as hell. I'm not going to lie. It's cold as shit. But it's not a bunch of snow and ice like they said it was going to be. So it's all right.
I've seen some people where they were, it was snowing, like it seemed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was snowing up. Yeah, it was snowing up north. That's why I don't live up in the north.
I'm going to share a couple of videos on that update of how people are actually, protecting themselves during this weather, and of course power cuts. Did you experience power cuts? Maybe some people, for those who are
I live in Florida, Joey. I live in Florida. So it didn't get cold enough for no power cuts where I live at. Where they live, yeah, they live up in the north where it got cold and snow and ice. They cut down the power lines and hey, people get a generator. I got a generator, but I ain't never opened the box.
Period. But yeah, these are some of the videos of how everything went down during this weekend.
Let me see. Woo! Look at that shit there. Woo! Wow, see? Woo!
There's only one reason we're gathered here this morning, is to send out the alarm, alert all New Yorkers that we are heading into a very, very dangerous weather event that is unfolding later today and throughout this weekend into Monday, throughout every corner of the state. No state will be immune from feeling the effect of Mother Nature's wrath on this weekend. So we warned about an extreme weather event yesterday. That event has arrived. It's intensifying as we speak. Now, we're used to winter in New York. We're in Albany today. I'm from Buffalo, was in New York City yesterday. We think we're ready for this. But when you get complacent, that's when you get into trouble.
And that's why I don't live in New York State. I'm from New York City and all the whole state, because everybody keep forgetting. You guys don't know New York has a city called New York, which is in the southern part of New York State, and the whole state of New York. I don't live in no parts of it. And don't get me wrong, parts of New York State are beautiful. You know, that's where Mr. X lives. Where Mr. X is up there with Albany, the capital. Nah, I don't want to experience none of this kind of cold ass weather where the lights go out, your power goes out. Nah, you freeze to death. Nope. Go ahead, Joe.
This is a very dangerous combination of heavy snow and extreme cold temperatures. And the risks are so intense that as I'm standing here right now, I'm declaring a state of emergency throughout the entire state of New York. And what that'll allow us to do is to coordinate more closely with local governments, deploy state resources into municipalities without the lag of time required. So this will ensure that all of our local partners and agencies have the resources they need to keep New Yorkers safe and to get through this weather event. Allows us to suspend certain laws that would be other related to procurement, et cetera. So right now,
I didn't even know. One year I was up. One year I stopped at this like restaurant, and I was gonna go to. That's when I was still eating McDonald's way back. This is like 25 years. I was still eating that McDonald's shit. And ate that shit at least 15 years. But I stopped to go to McDonald's, and I was like, what? There's a big ass moose in the driveway in front of McDonald's. I said, man, and it was snowing off. I said, I can't run past no big ass moose. Motherfucker might kill me. There's a big ass moose out here. In the drive, if you're gonna know, a moose is like a big ass elk, Joe, but like in Africa, like a moose. I think a moose is bigger than an elk, like a big ass elk. He's in Africa. Big ass moose with them big ass horns. I said, I was hungry as hell. I said, I guess I won't get no McDonald's tonight. I'm not trying to operate. It's all slippery out there too. I'm not trying to get gashed to death by no big ass moose. God damn. How do you live up here, man? You got mooses in parking lots, wild animals. Can he go get a hamburger and fries? You got wild animals out here. Shit.
And kill this shit with these big horns. It's crazy.
Yeah, you see the moose. There you go. That's a moose. It was sitting in front of the McDonald's. I was upstate. I was outside of Albany with Mr. X. There was a big ass moose in front of the McDonald's. I was like, what? Oh man, I can't go fuck around with this moose. I was hungry as hell, but I wouldn't get out the car to go have no moose chase me trying to make it to the McDonald's. Fuck it.
So we in a state of emergency, y'all. And can I just tell y'all, I went to Home Depot yesterday and a couple of other places to try to get salt, and they were sold out. There was like no salt. So Home Depot said they was going to have salt today. Early this morning, I got up and I went and I got salt. Can I just it was giving me such PTSD from the pandemic. There was a lady who had like 10 gymongous bags of salt in her cart. And it's just like,
I don't know why do people panic like that? Like, people really panic.
I know. I exactly go crazy. That's why the grocery stores be filled out. I don't know why people run around. Why do people always grab all this toilet paper and tissues? Hey, toilet paper's made here in the United States. You ain't got to ship that in from China. You ain't got to run out. Why does everybody always got like thousands things of toilet paper? They got to wipe their ass all the time. What's that about? Yeah, everybody panic. Like all the stores up to Ricky's at Minnesota, they used to that kind of cold. So, you know, people out there bum rushing the grocery stores, buying all the food up. This is all crazy kind of shit.
Why would you need that much salt? Like,
I know. Exactly.
I was able to get salt. Okay. So that ultimately, because I don't know what that lady was thinking or ultimately, when we're able to shovel, then I could put down some salt. Like,
some salt.
You don't have to layer that stuff on. Get a cute little cup, scoop up your salt, and like sprinkle that thing around. A little bit goes a long way when it comes to salt. Okay, I don't know. Anyway,
I remember my first time when I moved from my senior year. I had to move to go live with my mom. Like, you know, Atlanta used to stay, was always hot and warm, and like Florida. Man, with the mom, I was ready to shovel that fucking snow out the driveway. My mom said, "Hey, you boys go shovel the snow." I said, "Shovel snow? The fuck are you talking about?" We never did. They're like, "What?" And my brother, what the hell is she talking about? There's a shovel out in the garage. You guys go shovel the driveway. Shovel the driveway for what? We didn't grow up in the snow. We never got to go shovel the driveway so the car can get in and out of the damn driveway and all that shit. We was out there, I swear to God. You know, you're not used to no real cold weather. It looks like Ricky being from Alabama. You're not used to that. You're used to it now. He's in Minnesota. You know that cold weather when you're not used to it? And I swear to God, I'm only in the DMV here. I can't tell you. I don't know. I told my brother, I don't know if we can stay with Mom. It's cold as fuck. I can't deal with this kind of cold, man. We out here shoveling snow and shit. Where we supposed to put this shit at? Mom said, "You throw it over to the grass." What? I'm like, okay, where you supposed to put this shit at? And I know my hands and ears. You know when you cold when your feet, the tip of your hands and your ears get cold. Like, God damn, shit. Man, I ain't gonna be able to live in this fucking place. I ain't gonna be dealing with this shit. It snows here all the time. I'm not with this shit. Go ahead, Joey. I'm not with this shit.
Are you guys bracing for the snow, NY? And NYC, Mayor Mamdani came out, gave a cute press conference yesterday, talking about all the preparations and all the plans and things that he's going to make sure gets done.
Pause it. You know what? I hate that. Like, listen, I hate that New York accent, man. It annoys me. All the preparation be done. And you New York Negro. I can't stand that New York accent. It's like rubbing, it's almost better than Jamaicans and the Nigerians. That New York accent, it ain't that bad, but it's close. That shit like rubbing nails across a chalk. That New York accent is, oh, man. But anyway, think about my daddy don't give a damn about you, lady.
More than half of the US is under a severe weather alert this morning as a dangerous winter storm approaches. 172 million people are in the path of heavy snow, widespread ice and sleet, as well as extreme cold.
Bad.
More than a dozen states have declared an emergency in preparation for record snowfall, while thousands of flights have been impacted across the country, including in New York.
Once the snow begins to fall, I want to encourage New Yorkers to do something that we don't often have the luxury of doing, which is to take a breath and stay home.
The weather system is expected to hang around until Sunday. More than
So a bunch of, then we had a bunch of crashes, Joe. We show the crashes. Say, on TikTok, say, bad weather crashes in the United States over the weekend. There's gonna be crashes everywhere. Snow people driving out ditches, brakes don't work, flying into trees and shit. I don't know how Ricky lives in Minnesota, boy. One time I was sitting in my car in Minnesota years ago. This is like, I'd be damn it, 30 years ago. No, about 25. Man, I had my heat on full blast, and I was cold as hell up in there. I was like, how these motherfuckers be living in Minnesota? And why? Why would you live up here? It ain't even cheap. It ain't like it's cheap to live up here, nothing. Why would you live in Minnesota? I don't understand. I don't get it. We just say the weather over the weekend. The United States. Just say bad weather. Just say bad weather over the weekend. Let's see what happens. Yeah, bad weather over the weekend in the United States.
Incredible footage from Michigan today where more than 100 vehicles were involved in a pileup this morning.
Look at that shit
on Interstate 196, just southwest of Grand Rapids. More than 30 tractor trailers were involved, causing state police to close the interstate in both directions. According to local media, about a dozen people suffered some type of injury in the crashes, but no one was killed.
Nobody died. Yeah, imagine how you fucked up. You can't get out of it, and then your ass is hungry.
Police
must be
all right.
The buses and sent to a nearby high school where they could stay warm while arranging alternate modes of transportation. Western Michigan has been under winter storm warnings with lake effect snow causing whiteout conditions.
Whiteout, can't see. I've been them conditions. Whiteout conditions. I've sat on the road when the accident happened. I was outside Chicago. I was hungry as hell.
Conditions are obviously really difficult right now. And unfortunately, there are some that just don't heed the warnings. And right now, by the SMU campus, you can see
home
situation. You have this vehicle that has slammed hard into the wall. This is actually the second wall he's hit. You can see the skid marks. They start up through here, whack, hits here, and then comes back around to this area. And you can see now the first responders had blocked off the right side of the roadway, which is a blessing because an incident like this in a curve with ice, other vehicles coming up on it could have lost control and then slammed into the car. Even worse. It's not the only incident we've been looking at. There's been some trouble on I-20 as one moves in the westbound direction to southbound I-35E. And then for drivers trying to move over in Tarrant County, there was one thing I wanted to mention, and that is along the North Loop as you move in the eastbound direction. This is going to be a TxDOT shot of an incident. And it serves as a reminder to us.
I'm in Oklahoma. I was just there last week.
Central and Mockingbird. When you have vehicles out on the roadway, you want to make sure that you have a lot of extra space between you and the vehicles around you. And in this
so you can brake.
The driver of the pickup truck was too close. So when this vehicle started to swerve and lose control and ended up against the wall, it couldn't stop and then ran right into it. Hence the left lane blocked. Obviously,
crazy.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and more. But in case you're just watching this, let us know what is the weather condition on your end. Is it cold? How you feeling?
Snow and ice cause around 100 accidents in just 8 hours in central Germany.
There, Rick.
Yeah, I hope everyone is
safe. Hope you're all right up there. Hope you're all right in Minnesota, Rick. Hope Jibba Jabba's all right up there in Pittsburgh. You know, you guys get all that snow and ice up there. And I'm in Florida, where it's all nice. It's not warm, but the sun is shining, and they ain't got no snow and ice on the ground. It's, well, I guess it would be considered warm because it's 50 degrees where I'm at. So you guys, it's windy as hell, but man, woo!
But yes, as we continue, still more news coming still of what took place during the weekend. We had the feds, which did take down the slavery memorial at Washington's Philly House, and we had the city firing back with a lawsuit. And I want to share some of the videos of how this went down, and it's crazy because this is something goes.
Also, ICE killed another white man in Minnesota. Shot him to death. A nurse. Trying to shoot a white woman, they shot him to death. So understand, they don't got legal authority. They want you to be scared. Like now you see how you white people get all mad. And now see, but you understand, Trump, white people not like black people. Eventually they're going to start fighting back. They'll say, forget it, this is a rogue government. So they're trying to scare you into compliance. Everything ISIS is doing right now is illegal. They do not have authorization to do this. This is breaking the law. So see if you're going to accept it or not. But go ahead, Joe.
I was reading an article. Let me try find it as we continue. Which was talking about they are being trained by Israel. Something to do
by Israel. Not even trained. Of course, they all trained by by Israel because that's who controls this country in the world. Also, not just that, the IDF soldiers are in ICE, Joby. The people from Israel that are doing the G side, they're in fucking ICE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this one says, let me just read it very quickly. It says that the ICE leaders are trained with the Israel military forces, and the ICE uses Israel spyware. In 2026, ICE opened an office in Tel Aviv, and Americans have been killed by ICE.
Tel Aviv. Why would ICE American immigrants have something to do with opening an office in Tel Aviv in Israel? What's that got to do with the other? Nothing. That's why the cats run this fucking place. That's why. And so when you go, that's why they got masks over their faces, so you won't know that half the fucking ICE is the IDF, Israel Defense Force, that's actually in ICE, and they're illegal. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Americans are being killed at home by ICE. Media fuels hatred and division while expanding mass surveillance. It was never just about migration. And for 20 years, top ICE officials have trained in Israel. And official reasons is...
How about that?
Official reason is international cooperation and
That's how stupid that says it's international. It's all fucking a fake lie. And so the Jays can control America and they control you through that. So the Rothschilds had complete control. Shout out to Putin naming the Rothschild. I don't believe his ass get called the Rothschild. I'm not about the West. I'm fighting these banker families. There's not no shit. And so they can have complete control of the country. That's why they're there.
Letting the IDF train ICE was a big mistake, but it shows how much control Zionists have over America.
Exactly.
America's first, and it never was. ICE uses Israel spyware. ICE signed a multi-million-dollar contract with Paragon Solutions, an Israel cybersecurity firm, and Graphite spyware can hack phones and access encrypted messages and location data. This can easily be used against Americans soon. ICE isn't just trained by Israel military forces, they have full field office in Tel Aviv, Israel. This isn't a conspiracy theory, it's on their own website. Most Americans have never been told, and let that sink in. This program sends U.S. officers to train with Israel police and military units. We have the ADL National Counter-Terrorism Seminar. We have the JINSA Law Enforcement Exchange. We have the GLE, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. We have Project Interchange and the IEF. Yeah, the AIEF, sorry. And their ultimate goal is not deportation, but triggering civil unrest. These are not rookie officers. They are supervisors, commanders, policy leaders, and training directors. People who shape how agencies operate. They go to Israel, are trained by the IDF, then they train everyone else. No wonder why there's no much chaos and death. The Second Amendment gives Americans the ability and the right to defend themselves when armed are attacked by militarized, masked IDF-trained agencies. Some may try to protect their homes and families. One mistake, and it can spiral into brutal violence and chaos. When protesters
exactly, because they know Americans have weapons, and eventually they're gonna get tired and say we're getting shot in the motherfucking street by this illegal organization. So it's time to go to war. That's what they want. Exactly it. Exactly. We're not gonna take you getting shot in the motherfucking street by these things. See, that's never. You know why they don't mention that they're part of IDF in the news? Because they own all the news. They own all the networks. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. The U.S. When protesters are killed abroad, the U.S. leaders call it fascism and demand invasion and liberation. When U.S. citizens is killed in America for interfering, they blame the victim and he deserves it.
Exactly.
By that logic, does America need liberation too? Hypocrites. ICE is funded. ICE is funded by taxpayers who profit. GEO Group, Co- Covis, Co- Co- Covisic, Cosivic. Yeah, Cosivic. BlackRock is one of the largest shareholders of GEO Group and Cosivic. They lobby
Of course, BlackRock. Who owns BlackRock? Oh, but everything always goes back to these families again. They think it's just their puppet on top of it. Who owns BlackRock? You know who owns it. Go ahead, Joe.
They lobby the Congress, they open and close borders.
Yeah.
Division makes them richer, chaos makes them stronger. 2020 and 2021, many people trusted the government with Pfizer agencies without question. 2025 and 2026, many people trust the government, the IDF trained agencies, ICE without question. Same ship behavior. Left versus right is the illusion.
Exactly.
Media and paid influencers manufacture division.
Exactly.
Blue pill is where we have trust the experts. Red pill, trust the enforcers. Both say comply. While BlackRock and Zionist agencies gain more power, if you are fighting each other, you are not watching them. This is a textbook divide and conquer. Planta Plantia gives ICE, if I'm pronouncing, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
That's it. That's Peter Thiel's coming. That's the spy surveillance. They want to spy on everybody in the world. Exactly. Palantir. So that's what. Yes, it's called Palantir, Joe. So yeah. So as you know, it's the same banker family. It's the Rothschilds and these other people. They control all this shit. That's them doing it. Same people that created it is not real. Same people why they're doing it. That's what's going on. Go ahead, Timmy.
Palantir gives ICE a digital dragnet to track, profile, and target people at a massive scale. This is just a test run. Soon it will be used against you. ICE operates like a domestic agency with no transparency, no accountability. Naive people are rooting for them. Incredible. ICE agents are not required to clearly identify themselves. This has caused serious problems like impersonation by criminals, abuse of authority, confusion during raids, reducing legal protections. Even courts have criticized this. Human rights groups have documented wrongful detentions, family separations, death in custody, medical neglect, coercive deportations. And these aren't mistakes, they are systemic manufactured chaos. What do these programs focus on? It's not civilian immigration services, but in militarized context, they are here for surveillance.
Set up a police state. Exactly. Set up a police state. And the guys are supposed to get immigrants. That's all the fake. That's a smoke screen. They're setting up a dictatorship. They set up a goddamn authoritarian dictatorship run by the cats. And since you're so stupid, white people, they're getting all the illegals out of here. They're not getting no illegals. That's them setting up a police state, and they want to be able to openly kill you in the street. Like they did the nurse over the weekend, blew his fucking head off. And no one, and then whoever wrote this, I don't know what Jimmy's finding these good articles. She found it. Yes, the article's true. They want to demonize because they started demonizing the nurse. And they can't demonize him because if they trying to, all the media they own trying to demonize this guy, but they can't because he's such a good man. They want to demonize his ass. Oh, he's all fucked up. What's he done? They want to demonize his whole character. That's what they need to do. They got to demonize you and dehumanize you to make it make not a stick about them murdering you in the streets.
Yeah, so they use crowd control, intelligence gathering, and now zoom out is where you look at the political cycle. Open the borders crisis, which is equals to fear. And fear leads to crackdown, surveillance, and funding. Funding leads to expanded enforcement, which is again a repeat, divide and conquer every single time.
Same thing they did with that 9/11 shit. They got all you guys scared. The Muslim terrorists 9/11. They did it. They did it. And then they try to go on the news. Oh, are you crazy? You saying that it was an inside job? Yeah, I'm saying it's a fucking inside job. And I'm saying it was the cats.
Yeah, so when migration increases, budget grows.
Rich
When fear
from 9/11, the cat with the fucking heads. Oh,
I
go ahead,
think I
Joe.
lost. Oh, I'd lost you there for a minute. Yeah, when migration increases, budget grows. When fear increases, power grows. When oversight weakens, abuse grows. It's
Yep.
self-feeding loop. They want you to justify abuse because you are next. This isn't a pro or anti-immigration. It's about Zionist power over America. It's not left versus right.
Yep.
It's not immigrants versus
Nope.
natives. It's Israel's It's the Israel targeting civil unrest by murdering US citizens via the IDF trained ICE officers in America. And immigration enforcement should protect human dignity, due process, public safety, and civil rights, not operate like a shadow security force, not kill civilians like the IDF. But what do you expect when Israel trains them? They start killing their own people? Not surprised at all. They profit from chaos. They profit from the enforcement and surveillance. Who holds them accountable? Who benefits from the opening
Nobody.
and closing borders? We have the big operation, lobbyists, security contractors, Zionist rulers. America isn't run by Americans. Wake up. That is the end of that particular article over there. So yeah, literally, it's crazy. But looking at literally also what happened on this, what you have on your screen, we have the feds who are tearing down slavery memorial at the Washington Philly House. Again, it goes back to something we were discussing last week when it comes to the Black history, which they don't want even anywhere Black people being mentioned. They don't want the names of Black people appearing anywhere where they are. They want to ensure all the names, everything Black people participated in, it's all completely gone. But this is what
Trump administration has begun dismantling parts of the slavery memorial at a historical site in Center City, Philadelphia.
Of course.
The outdoor exhibit is at the mansion where President George Washington and John.
They want to take down your history. See, anything about history, history makes white people feel bad because they're the villain. So all kind of they want to hide history. That's how despicable these people are. Good, Joe.
Adams lived and worked at one time. It had been closed since late last year for renovations. It's not clear why the exhibit is being taken down, but a local group is threatening legal action.
You know why it's taken down? It shows white people as the villain. As they are.
Cannot eliminate the history.
The National Park Service has dismissed.
Trump administration removed slavery memorial at Washington, Philadelphia residence. The National Park Service dismantled exhibits honoring 9 enslaved people who lived at George Washington's presidential residence in Philadelphia on Thursday afternoon. An action that swiftly drew a lawsuit from the city and condemnation from advocacy groups who fought for years to establish the memorial. Workers began removing
white people make fake history. All the history they give is fake. And they erase real history. Because they're always what? The villain. Good.
Panels and text displays from the President's House site at Independence National Historical Park around 3 p.m., the final exhibit taken down approximately 90 minutes later. The outdoor memorial tilted, quote, freedom and slavery in the making of a new nation, unquote, had stood since 2010.
Yeah, so that is what was happening with that particular situation. But as we move on, we also had TikTok last week, which was taken by America. You remember we had, I discussed this, but on a lighter note, where America did finalize on the final deal, and there is them literally completely owning TikTok. And for the last literally 14 hours, there was a technical issue, and where TikTok had reported them experiencing major technical issues. I don't know if you guys had experienced that, but again, probably this is now where the complete of change of algorithm takes place, because now where they're going to be monitoring what.
No, that's on the ones in the United States. Yeah, and most people are getting off TikTok. That's why I haven't posted nothing on TikTok in 5, 6 months. I ain't posted shit on there. And I'm going to be leaving it too. That's why everybody's leaving. We're leaving it. Because the cats have got it again. Anybody can't say, we know who owns it, the cats. Ain't America. Ain't no American owns shit. You know, it's the cats got it.
Yeah, but literally, yeah, they're saying that TikTok was down and experiencing major technical issues. That was in the last 24 hours after announcing it's under new America ownership. So shout out to Trump. Literally, Trump is doing everything possible to make America great again for you guys. You know, that's the most amazing part.
He making America great for his goddamn cat handlers. He's a no good puppet who doodles on himself all the time. So we know why he's doodling on himself because we know Sasha said he put the damn nails up his ass and tore his booty hole up. I was like, why the hell Trump has been having diapers way back in the 90s? Now we know. Sasha Riley told you he tore up his butthole. That's why he can't keep he's got doodle on himself everywhere.
Wow. But yeah, we also have literally still part of what Trump is doing. Let me share this video as we get to continue with the information it has.
Trump is creating a new style of governance the world has never seen. Donald Trump unveiled his Board of Peace. At the same time, Jared Kushner unveiled a new Gaza plan for rebuilding the Gaza Strip. Rather than the people governing themselves through the ballot box, like with a democracy, or even rather than a monarchy or a dictator, this is a new style of governance that is being rolled out, where essentially investors are going to build up territories, build up countries, build up nations, and they will control them. It would be
that's crazy. And everybody said, now they're coming out. They come back to white power, white supremacy in your face. With their fake money, all their money's fake. See, if they have to pay you something that's actually legitimate, all your fake, and you need to learn this. All these billionaires you're talking about, they're all fake. They're all broke. They're paid in fake money. They got no power. Let them try to lock down the world. Oh, we're going to control the world. We're going to do. Everybody already opted out of this crazy. Let's see what it is. White supremacy 5.0 again. White people dying. They're trying to scramble and keep power. Your power is coming to an end. You thought that you would rule the world forever? No, stupid. No. Power is cyclical, you morons. And it's just the creator of the universe saying they had enough of you evil motherfuckers. That's why you're dying out. That's why you're dying. Because you motherfuckers are wicked and evil. And nothing changed about you and you're dying out. That's what's going on. That's the karma. But say, what's about the karma? That's happening to white people. You just don't see it happen. They're dying out. They think, oh, it's because the economy. It's because economy ain't got nothing to do with you not being able to fuck have babies. The Africans are impoverished. Why are they making babies? The economy's all fucked up in Africa. Why are they making babies? What are you talking about? They're not doing no economy. That's God saying enough of you motherfuckers. You got to go. That's what's going on with the Asians. But your birth rate, Asians not have no bad economy. Why their birth rate all fucked up too? That's the creator of the universe. Not your fake Jesus. Not your fake Allah. Saying enough of you motherfuckers. You got to go. We're bringing balance to the planet. You're going to get up on out of here. Your birth rate's fucked up. And even though African has been a coward, I'm making so it's going to be so few of you people, African ain't had no chance but to fight you bastard. That's what's going on. Go ahead, Joe.
Run by, rather than presidents and prime ministers, sovereign CEOs. This is much more sinister. And let me explain. It starts off with Kushner's new Gaza plan. I think they've chosen Gaza because they knew they could bomb the heck out of it to raise the entire place so that they could clear all the rubble, build something brand new, and try out this new style of world domination. And we know this because the Board of Peace is not...
And don't forget it, it's the cats that run everything. So it's the cat saying we're going to run every goddamn thing. You'll be under our thumb. That's why all the surveillance, that's why all the shit in Africa is about. All that shit in Africa is done by them. Shit in America is done by them. But you can't say it because you're called anti-something. You're anti-something if you say that. Now, they own all the banks. You're anti-something. If you point out the obvious. You're anti this. But ain't it funny? Everybody can be anti-black and don't shit happen to you. But and so that's what's going on. So this is a power grab. It ain't gonna work.
It's supposed to be.
You know what? Go ahead, Joe.
created for Gaza. It's not in their charter. Gaza's not mentioned. It's for any and all territories that they can essentially get their hands on to do this exact same project. Gaza is just the prototype. Now let's first listen to Jared Kushner talking about the new Gaza plan.
We want to encourage all the countries to be able to follow these best practices. What the Board of Peace will have the ability to do if we're successful with Gaza is really show how do you do peace implementation. As we're creating this system,
with them is always double top. They don't believe in no fucking peace. Yeah, whenever they talk about saying there's a border war, they never did no peace, know where they fucking went. It's about stealing people's shit and then putting themselves in power. All these fake terms, peace this and this, that, it's all fake. Go ahead, Joe.
Them available to all else who want to use them in the future.
Very specifically, Jared Kushner is talking about investors redesigning a strip of land whose people still do not control their borders, their politics, or their security. They will not be in charge.
There'll be amazing investment opportunities.
The charter for the Board of Peace actually gives Trump...
It'd be outstanding investment too for us, the pillagers, the people stealing, not the poor people, the people that we steal in their lands. It's a great opportunity for the investors that we make more slaves. It's always the same investor talk shit, right? More investors. Business investors ever helped any country? Oh, never. Never. It's repackaged slavery.
Decision-making power with the ability to act on the board's behalf without needing full board consent, essentially making him a king of a territory. That is essentially what this is. And the thing about the Board of Peace is that it's not limited to Gaza. When they started Board of Peace, they said, oh, this is for the rebuilding of Gaza. But then they wrote the charter and they unveiled the charter, and it turned out, wait a minute, this isn't limited to Gaza. This is for any and all areas of the world that you believe there's a conflict, and you're going to go in there with investor money and rebuild these areas, and the investors will actually be in charge. The governance will be
you're looking at it straight, and this is colonialism again. Get rid of government completely now. We're tired of these puppets. Now we're saying fuck them. We're going to go in and destroy these countries, and we're going to put ourselves back as the colonizers. I'm going to tell you, this is Hegelian dialectic in your face. They're the ones destroying the country, so it's problem, reaction, solution, us come back, openly colonize you fucking moron.
The investors who have a board, a chairman of the board who's ultimately the overseer of this, not the people. They want that for all of us. This is a way for
As the world allows this, if the world allows this, you're supposed to be a slave. They're openly calling you a slave again. That's what this is. With some fake fancy words. The board, the Board of Peace. That's called slavery, morons. All these fake ass words, that's slavery. Go ahead, Jim.
Investors to start ruling the world.
Crazy.
Right now is
related to that. I'm going to share this on still part of their new world order. We've seen them talking about BRICS and all that. This guy's breaking it down too.
You're watching this. 23 countries are lining up to join an economic alliance that could end dollar dominance within the next 36 months. BRICS just expanded faster than any geopolitical bloc in modern history.
You know why? You know why expanded? Because the Jays own BRICS. That's why. That's why they created BRICS and they own BRICS. All they do was loot America and they move the shit over someplace else. Same people control it. So all this thing, you know what happened to American BRICS? These arguments are fake. Argument this Chinese man giving is fake. Phony. He's not telling the same people that control America's hegemony is the same people setting up the BRICS hegemony. Is that they're getting away in some new system. It's not. Go ahead, Joby.
It's not happening. Here's what they are not telling you. We've seen this exact pattern destroy every dominant empire for the last 2,000 years. Every single one. And it always starts the same way. The reigning power ignores the coalition forming against them until it's too late. By the time they react, the architecture of their dominance has already been dismantled. Here's the brutal math that every American needs to understand. If the dollar loses its monopoly, U.S. living standards collapse.
You go back to third world. Collapse.
Right now,
you go to third world. You go into Mad Max mode. When American dollar collapse, America, you go into Mad Max mode. But me, I'll be out of this bitch. You're gonna go into Mad Max, okay? Beyond Thunderdome. What you gonna go into? Mad Max. Or the one Joby seen, Furious Road, or whatever.
$800 billion. We import way more than we export. We consume more than we produce. How do we get away with this?
Shit.
Because the world needs dollars. Foreign central banks have to buy our treasury bonds to hold dollar reserves. Foreign companies have to accept dollars for payment. That creates artificial demand for dollars and for dollar-denominated assets. That's the exorbitant privilege. We print paper, and the world gives us real goods, cars, electronics, clothing, food,
for fake
oil,
paper.
everything.
Exactly.
We get to run massive deficits without consequences because everyone needs our currency.
Everybody needs
What happens when they don't need dollars anymore? What happens when China can buy Brazilian soybeans?
Those dollars come flooding back to America without no value. Those dollars come flooding back to America, and they're garbage. They're worth nothing. And you'll be Mad Max, Furious Road, red one. Yeah, that's what you're gonna be. You're Mad Maxing around this motherfucker. Good.
India in rupees, when Indonesia trades with Malaysia in a digital ASEAN currency, when African nations trade with each other in the African Continental Free Trade Area using local currencies or the proposed Pan-African payment system, the demand for dollars craters. And when demand for dollars craters, the value of the dollar craters, that means inflation, real inflation. Not the 3% the Fed targets, not even the 8% we saw in 2022. Think double digits, think persistent, think 1970s stagflation on steroids. Because we'd still be importing all those goods, but now we're paying more dollars for them. Purchasing power of American wages would evaporate. A middle-class lifestyle becomes unaffordable. Retirement savings lose half their value. Pensions become inadequate. Social Security becomes insufficient. The entire social contract breaks down. It means the cost of borrowing explodes. Right now, the U.S. national debt is $34 trillion. We're paying over $1 trillion a year just in interest.
38 now.
That's more than we spend on defense, more than we spend on Medicare. It's becoming the largest line item in the federal budget, and that's with interest rates that are historically reasonable because the world needs to buy our bonds.
But who do we pay this interest to? Oh, the central bank. Who owns the central bank? Oh, the cats with the fucking hats. Ain't that funny? We pay to the central bank to print fake money. We gotta owe them to print our money. Why would anybody do that? Oh, you wouldn't. Because the cats took over America back in 1913, 100 years ago, when they made the fake Federal Reserve Bank. Okay? So you can print your own money if you're a real country. It would cost you nothing. Why would you have interest on your own money being printed? Oh, you wouldn't. See, that's the scam. So now we got to pay interest so these cats can print money for us, which we don't need them to do. This scam works. So they get trillions of dollars by doing absolutely nothing. That's why they that's why they own all the states, own all the politicians, because they gave them all this fake fucking paper. And we run this fake ass bank. It's now put us in debt. People say, well, who are we paying? Who are we paying this $34 trillion back to? And you find out it's to the Federal Reserve Bank. Why the fuck in America be paying money back to itself? It comes the Federal Reserve. Don't we own the Fed? And Joby showed you, no, we don't own the Fed. Who owns the motherfucker? Oh, the cats with the motherfucking hats. Go ahead, Joe.
And drops and interest rates spike to reflect actual risk. That interest payment could double, triple. The budget becomes unsustainable. Everything gets cut. Everything. Austerity becomes mandatory. And here's the geopolitical reality nobody wants to discuss. A country that can't fund its military can't project power. A country drowning in debt can't maintain 800 military bases in over 70 countries around the world.
Nope.
Can't afford 11 carrier strike groups. Can't sustain the global presence that enforces its
Can't afford none of your powers destroyed.
Bases closed.
Exactly.
The alliance is fray. The empire doesn't end with a bang. It ends with a budget reconciliation. With accountants deciding we can't afford to be everywhere anymore. That's how it actually happens. Not dramatically.
Can't afford these
bureaucratically. Now, I know what you're thinking. This time is different. America has the strongest military. We have the most advanced technology. We're the indispensable nation. We have Silicon Valley. We have nuclear weapons. We have the world's reserve currency. Rome had the best military in the world. Legions that conquered from Britain to Mesopotamia. Didn't matter. Britain had the best navy in the world. Ships that controlled every ocean. Didn't save them. The Soviet Union had enough nuclear weapons to destroy the planet 10 times over. The pattern doesn't care about military strength. And when that dependency breaks, everything else follows. Military power without economic power is unsustainable. You can't fund armies with patriotism.
You can't pay for it.
You can't build aircraft carriers with exceptionalism. You need money. And when your currency loses its privilege, the money runs out. You might also think technology will save us. Quantum computing will solve our problems. But innovation doesn't protect reserve currency status. Britain led the Industrial Revolution. They invented railways, still lost the pound's dominance. Technology creates wealth. It doesn't guarantee monetary hegemony. Those are different things. Silicon Valley doesn't protect the dollar. It creates valuable companies. But valuable companies can exist anywhere. China has tech giants. India has tech hubs. Innovation is global now. It's not an American monopoly anymore. Or maybe you believe in American exceptionalism, the idea that the US is fundamentally different from every empire that came before, that our institutions are stronger, our economy more resilient, our culture more adaptive, our system more flexible. I'm not saying America isn't exceptional. In many ways, it is. But the laws of economics don't care about exceptionalism. Debt is debt. Inflation is inflation. Loss of monopoly is loss of monopoly. The Romans thought they were exceptional too, believed their empire would last forever. Eternal Rome. The British thought the sun would never set on their empire. The Soviets thought history was on their side. They were all wrong, not because they were weak, because they misunderstood the pattern. Most Americans have no idea this is even happening. They think the dollar is eternal. They think American dominance is permanent. They think nothing fundamental can change. Stay ahead, keep learning, keep questioning, understand the mechanisms, watch the data.
Yeah, and yeah, literally that's what's happening. But let me go through a very few comments of the people right here as we get into the main conversation. Shout out to 10 Speed, John Mosquito, literally to Evan, shout out to Ricky. I see John Mosquito. Shout out to Sonic Domo, nice to see you. Hope you're doing amazing. Been a long time. I don't think I've seen you here on our chat in a minute. Bakaribu Sana. And as John Mosquito says, I had it's been snowing crazy up here. Yep, John Mosquito. What's the weather on your end? What's happening in England? There where you are. I also see John Mosquito says there are people saying the snow isn't real. Apparently it doesn't even burn. Okay, I don't know. Keith can let us know more. I'm not where the snow is, so I can't literally tell anything. Tan Speed says all of them, either they are given to athletes and entertainment is fake money. And Karibu Sana, hope you had a beautiful weekend. World domination, my food. But yeah, Keith, maybe you can take it over literally from there with the main conversation. We're going to be talking about the United States preparing to strike Iran. And I think we lost him literally for a minute. But as we wait for him to come back, let me share this very quickly, this video, as we wait for him to come back.
National Guard. So okay, guys, things are getting pretty scary in Minneapolis right now, to the point where Trump is threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act and deploy the military, while Tim Walz, the state's governor, has activated the National Guard. So here's what's going on. As you would have heard by now, yesterday there was yet another fatal shooting of a U.S. citizen by an ICE agent, and the man has now been identified as registered nurse Alex Pretty, who also happened to be 37 years old, the same age as Renee Good, who was killed earlier this month. And very similar to that incident as well, federal officials are framing this as a defensive shooting, while state officials are suggesting this is straight up murder. And if you guys thought tensions were high before, you should see what is happening today. Hundreds of protesters have taken to the streets in freezing temperatures, clashing with federal agents, demanding ICE to leave Minneapolis now. One person was arrested after allegedly biting off the fingertip of a federal agent, and I mean off. They posted pictures and everything. There were even reports of demonstrators setting up barricades around city blocks. And that's particularly significant because a national security analyst spoke with News Nation, and they said that these barricades could be used as a legal predicate for Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act and deploy active duty military onto the streets of Minneapolis. And this is all while the local police have requested the assistance of Minnesota's National Guard to support the deputies in this growing unrest. So imagine a situation here where you have the National Guard, local police, ICE agents, and army troops all in the same city. There's even an Antifa member going viral right now on X calling for people to suit up, arm themselves, and he said that he is not talking about peaceful protests anymore. So yeah, a lot could unfold in the next few days. So as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what's gonna be happening, if all that is literally going to be happening or not. But as we wait for Keith, let me share a couple of videos on what is our main conversation about. Literally, America ready to strike as it prepares to strike on Iran. Let me share a couple of videos of what people have to say here as we get to continue and wait for Keith to come back.
Reports from the last 24 hours suggest the US may be trying to use a military base they have in Jordan for an attack against Iran. Publicly available satellite imagery shows that Muwafaq Salti Air Base in Jordan, operated by the United States, has been reinforced with more fighter jets, F-15s, and refueling aircrafts, I believe the super tankers, and therefore more troops, more personnel, especially in the last week, have been pouring into the US base on Jordanian soil. One take, guys. But the reason why an airbase on Jordanian soil is being readied will raise some eyebrows. You see, reports are widespread now, especially from local Arabic newspapers. Sorry, I can't talk today. But there's a lot of chatter that the GCC countries, the Gulf Cooperation Council countries, right? These are the Arab monarchies straddling the Persian Gulf, the body of water. These countries, these Arab states, are basically saying, we don't want war with Iran. We're not in agreement at all with the war in Iran. I know Iran is outside the US influence. I know that we are inside the US sphere of influence. But on this, we're actually with Iran. We don't want conflict, right? And if you guys insist, America, if you insist on conflict, it's not going to be in my name. Hashtag not in my name. Hashtag not on my flipping soil. Saudi Arabia reportedly expressed this sentiment very forcefully, and with Saudi being the planet that the other Arab monarchies sort of revolve around as moons, with Saudi saying hell no, all the other Gulf monarchies likely have said, yo, can you CC me into that email? BCC me, if just to hide my identity, but just CC me into that email to America saying, not from my base, please. So with the Gulf Cooperation Council countries unwilling to participate in any aggressive action against Iran, Axis Tel Aviv has to fall back to a nation less able to say no to their demands. And Jordan fits the candidacy perfectly. You see, Jordan is a nation caught between three regional powers, a rock, a hard place, and another hard place. And its mission is therefore just survive, man. That's like Jordan's geopolitical strategy. Stay alive, inshallah, right? And that comes with some grim decision-making or grisly decision-making on the part of the Jordanian administration that certainly doesn't represent the sentiments of the Jordanian people. Jordan is basically a string of settlements on the bank of a sea of sand. That's Saudi Arabia. And right next door, of course, they have Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories. And southwest, they have Egypt. So Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Israel, and you're stuck in the middle with basically nothing, no strategic depth, no powerful economy, no military industrial complex. Khalas is GG for you. Unless you keep your nose clean, keep your head down, just shut up, right? And that might come with compromising on a lot of your sovereignty and not aligning your state's policies with the desires of the people. So Jordan is really wedged in there and has to basically allow other countries to do what they want, especially over Jordanian skies, because if they push back hard enough, a country might just be like, oh, screw it. Okay, I'll just occupy you guys, and that reduces my headache, right? They don't want that, obviously. I should point out at this point that Jordan does have some agreements in place, even with America, that says, fine. America basically said, give the Jordanians something, right? It's peak for them out here. Let's say you can't.
We have some major news as it looks like the United States is gearing up to strike Iran from Jordan. As satellite data shows extensive deployments of U.S. Air Force assets in Jordanian air bases. On top of that, a U.S. aircraft carrier is also set to come to the region in less than 72 hours, and multiple European airlines had canceled their flights briefly to Israel and other parts of the Middle East in anticipation of something going down. However, behind the scenes, there's a quiet disagreement happening between Israel and the United States on where they should strike Iran from. Israel really prefers that the United States strike Iran from Qatar, for example, and not Jordan, because Israel shares a large border with Jordan, and they fear that Iranian retaliation against Jordan would easily spill over inside of Israel. Meanwhile, the United States does not want to launch an attack on Iran from Qatar, fearing Iranian retaliation against U.S. assets and military bases inside of Qatar, which is highly valuable to the Americans.
Major breaking news. The U.S. is preparing to attack Iran, according to sources. The next 24 hours are critical. Donald Trump has confirmed that the United States is moving large military forces toward the Middle East, with Iran clearly in focus. Multiple reports say major U.S. assets are already repositioned across the region. Saudi Arabia could play a crucial role in stopping this war. The U.S. imports massive amounts of oil from Saudi Arabia. If Riyadh cuts or slows supply, the U.S. could face serious economic pressure, forcing Washington onto the back foot. Reports confirm the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln is heading toward the region with its strike group, while F-15 fighter jets are already operating from regional bases. Tensions are rising, and Iran is reportedly strengthening its defenses. The next hours are critical. Diplomacy, strategy, and timing will decide if this ends in talks or escalates into conflict. So the real question is, will the United States force Iran to negotiate, or are we heading straight into a dangerous confrontation?
The world should listen carefully right now. When President Trump says American warships are moving toward Iran, he calls it prevention. History calls it escalation. Russia has seen this pattern before: naval movements, strong words, and then chaos follows. Never for those who announce it, always for those who live there. Let me be very clear. Any strike on Iran's nuclear facilities would not be a local action. It would shake the entire Middle East. Energy markets, trade routes, global security. This is not speculation. This is reality. Russia does not seek conflict, but Russia will not tolerate reckless pressure, military intimidation, or unilateral force that threatens regional stability. The Middle East does not need another lesson in destruction. It needs restraint. Power is not proven by ships at sea. It is proven by discipline. Those who believe force creates peace should review the last 20 years. Russia remains calm, alert, prepared. The responsibility now lies with Washington. The question is simple. Will they choose stability or repeat mistakes the world still pays for?
The United States is about to attack yet another country, and it's not about democracy, human rights, or even oil this time. The US is moving massive amounts of military hardware to the Middle East, signaling an attack on Iran.
We have a massive fleet heading in that direction.
The last time Iran engaged in negotiations in June 2025, America and Israel bombed it, using negotiations as a cover to attack. Iran is the last remaining power in the Middle East which opposes Israeli occupation and refuses to bow to the United States. Whilst parts of its government are autocratic and there have been alleged human rights abuses and a brutal crackdown on violent protesters, those are not the real reasons America or Israel wants to attack. They have no interest in protecting Iranian lives. The real reason is Israeli and American neo-colonial hegemony in the Middle East. Many countries like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Qatar, Jordan, and the UAE give lip service to a Palestinian state whilst following American dictates.
Their people could be cheering as they see missiles go flying overhead to Israel, while the king gives orders to his army to shoot these missiles down. Why? Because he thinks his legitimacy rests with the United States and Israel, not his own people.
And now America and Israel think it's time Iran follows suit. The United
Iran. Bomb, 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 Iran. But we have an armada. We have a massive fleet heading in that direction, and maybe we won't have to use it. We'll see.
America's downfall won't be caused by foreign enemies, economic collapse, or lack.
Yeah, so I want to read a very interesting article as I continue sharing these videos. This talks about the truth about Iran and the illusion of foreign imposed liberation. Iraq was sold as liberation. Libya was sold as liberation. Afghanistan was sold as liberation. And what did they get? Destruction, dependency, millions of death. Now Iran is next, and they are using the same word, liberation. Here's the history that they don't want to teach you. The real liberation doesn't come from the foreign powers. No empire in history has ever freed another nation. Liberation means destruction, the Rothschilds control, total dependency, permanent loss of sovereignty. Foreign empires don't liberate people.
That's correct, Joe.
I think I'm gonna mute you. You came back with noise. Something is noisy on your background. But yeah, the same foreign empires do not liberate people; they exploit and sacrifice them. Real change can only come from within. No country becomes free through foreign intervention, and that only replaces one form of control with another. True reform must come from the people, not from the bombs, sanctions, manufactured kills, or outside powers. Keith, I'm gonna mute you.
All right.
Or all right, yeah. Um, Libya, it led to the humanitarian aid, and the results they said that they need to give humanitarian aid. The results was the loss of monetary sovereignty, militias and chaos, and slavery. Afghanistan, they came with democracy and women's rights. The results was 20 years of war, millions of displaced, and mass deaths. Iraq, liberations from this dictatorship and WMDs. And the result is 1 million plus murdered. And for decades, Iran has been economically suffocated. Sanction crushed its economy. Banking restrictions, trade isolation, and currency collapse. This is not peaceful, it's economic warfare. They can claim to care about Iranians, but the people still fall for the same lies. Siberian President Alexander if I'm pronouncing, I don't know, Vusi, I don't know how to pronounce the second name, exposed Israel, Mossad, and the CIA for interfering with Iran ongoing protest. It's a playbook similar to the 1953 coup in Iran. He referenced Operation Ajax, the CIA M16 coup that removed Mossad after
Yeah,
Iran.
that's what you see what happening. Pause for Joey. So what you see what happening is that they got their agents, their spies all around Iran, hidden spies. So they want to. It's better for them to try to overthrow a country from within. So I think they got enough spies in there, and they manipulate enough people's minds. Then they're moving on. Then they start moving in and start these protests. These protests are never organic. They're already Mossad and CIA backed. So so when you see all these protests on their news, oh, the people are rising. So remember, they own all the news. So you get all the people are rising against the Houthi in Iran. They begging to be free. It's all nonsense. So we must go help them. They don't give a shit about nobody. See, every time they help is that they just steal people's resources, leave the countries all fucked up and impoverished. So it's the same playbook again. Oh, we must go help Iran, the Iranian people. And Trump said, they better not shoot the Iranian people. We'll have to go in. But Iran being much, much smarter, much, much smarter. They had their own agents in there. So Iran had one of their agents deep inside of Israel. He actually got into the Mossad as an Iranian agent, right? And so they found out all these hundreds of spies and CIA and Mossad agents over the last weekend and started killing their ass. And so all the protests stopped because it wasn't organic. It was led by, you know what, these intelligence agencies, because they don't have a Rothschild bank in Iran. So it's about the complete control what these hats want. So what happened is they took them out and they executed these spies. And all the protests, I thought the protests were organic. All the protests stopped because they found Iran, which also shut down Elon Musk's fake ass Starlink. They shut that shit down, the internet, and that's where all the propaganda comes from. They shut all that shit down, and then they methodically went and go found the spies and took them out. And then some of them sure they asking some questions, but they're being executed. And so guess what? They thought so guess what? All the protests in Iran have stopped. See, that's why America was still sending the ships there to start another war, because they thought they had it all in play. Iran was they already got the people there's unrest, so they can go in and take it over. No, those protests have been stopped. And so also they got a little Chinese weaponry now, right? Well, they got missiles. So if Iran wants to attack, Iran will be. I mean, Israel wants to attack, they're going to be wiped out. They already said They already said Israel would be a parking lot. Nothing will be standing. Will be get done with it. Okay, you'll hear us, but nothing will be standing. That place we're gonna make that place a parking lot. That's what we're gonna do. So you got the Americans with their army, with our navy going there, and the shit's all fucked. Now you got to turn around because your fake coup that you had implemented, like they said, like the 1950s, you was able to do that in 1950 because people didn't really understand what you were doing. You was able to overthrow the country and steal all the oil back in and put your puppet in the Shah for goddamn 40 years, so they finally overthrew his ass. It ain't funny. The misogynist had brought up the Shah's son. I like to go back to Iran and talk to the people and figure this boy ain't been in Iran almost 50 years. They wanted to make the Shah's son the new puppet of Iran, who ain't even been there since he was like a teenager, since they drew his puppet ass daddy out of power. So that's what you got going on. But as they were moving these military assets in to overthrow Iran, Iran found your spies. Hundreds and thousands, like thousands of spies all throughout Iran. Found them. And guess what? They executing their ass, every last one of them. And that's what? All the protests have magically stopped. Go ahead, Joe. Keep reading your
Continues by saying, before 1951, Iran's oil was controlled by the British companies. Iran was rich in resources.
Of course. Imagine that the oil was controlled by white people. Everybody's just like Africa. All the oils and reach always controlled by what? By the Europeans. Nobody need freedom. About white people don't have any resources. They steal your shit and kill you. That's the plan. Always.
Yeah, but poor in power. Was rich in resources, but poor in power. In 1951, Iran elected a prime minister named Mohammed Mossadegh, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He nationalized Iran's oil. He said Iran's resources should belong to the Iranians. Zionist interests absolutely opposed this. So in 1953, the CIA and the M16 ran a coup. They removed the president. This operation is now disclassified, and it was called Operation Ajax. After the coup, the Shah was put back in power. He ruled with the Western backing. Oil contracts returned to the foreign Zionist companies. This wasn't liberation or democracy, it was foreign control and exploitation. In 1979, Iranians overthrew the Shahs because they were tired of the foreign-backed rule, and the Shah and his family fled, and that's the origin of today's Iran. And today, the sons of the Iran's last Shah is fully aligned with Israel and positioning himself as a possible leader. Today, Reza Pahlavi, the son of Iran's last Shah, was to liberate Iran by immediately recognizing Israel as a state, ending Iran's nuclear military program, and ending support for Palestine resistance, paving the way for the Greater Israel Project and colony. A foreign-imposed regime change in Iran would mean the Rothschild-aligned banking, Israel colony expanding and genociding neighbors without consequences, the IMF loans, foreign military access, and privatization of resources including oil, gold, and silver. Nathaniel Rothschild is openly pushing for a regime change. When a regime change is openly cheered by the Rothschilds banking dynasty, history tells us what follows isn't freedom. It's a permanent and total loss of sovereignty, a loss of identity and debt and privatization. The Rothschilds profited from every major war, including the Napoleonic Wars, Crimean War, the World War I, the World War II, and beyond. They funded destructions and reconstructions and made trillions from war. They created modern government debt system.
Why do you think Ruto's in that time? We must privatize Kenya shit. Privatize. That's why you got that privatizing shit going on in Africa right now, Joe. We must privatize. No, you nationalize your shit. because it's yours. Inventory, you don't privatize and give your resources to somebody else to get rich, while they leave you all impoverished. But when you do that, they come in to see you. All these schemes, that's what these schemes and scams are about, Joe. It's about Iran making the people more poor and stealing their shit, Joe. Nobody need freedom. They don't give a fuck about no freedom of nobody.
Exactly. But yeah, it continues and winds up by saying that why do people the people ask why do elites care so much? It's because it's about creating a one world government, controlling trade routes, financial leverage, and the Greater Israel Project. The Rothschilds do not care about Americans or Iranians or anyone in this world. Remember when the Zionists assassinated JFK? When the Rothschilds wanted regime change, they do not just use bombs. They also use CIA and Mossad to create internal chaos and civil unrest, media lies and manipulation, NGOs, economic pressure and sanctions, political figures and narrative control. This is modern warfare, and this is why people feel confused. They woke up to lies about Iraq, they woke up to lies about Libya, they woke up to lies about Afghanistan. But now they are being told Iran is different. It isn't. It's the same playbook. The same voices calling out for liberation in Iran justified the genocide in Gaza. The contradiction matters. They ignored mass civilian suffering. Now they claim to care about humanitarian law. Question their motives. They do not care about Iranians. They care about Israel, literally. And the last two articles end up by saying every war starts with the same excuses: human rights, emergency, threat, liberation, dictator, as if they care about human rights. Then follows a bomb. Then millions of people are killed. And after the bombs, destroyed cities, collapsed economies, permanent debt. That's not liberation. Zionist controlled Western media uses the same word, liberation. And every time it ends the same way. If people understood history, I'm heavy on that. Again, he says this too. I thought it was just me. If people understood history, this wouldn't keep on going. And only the naive still believe liberation story or propaganda. That's the end of that particular article. But back to the videos. Let's hear what people have to say about America and what they have to do literally to Iran.
America's downfall won't be caused by foreign enemies, economic collapse, or lack of innovation. It will be destroyed by the very things it was built on: racism, greed, power, and the exploitation of the marginalized. So let's start with racism. America's had a centuries-long addiction to white supremacy, from slavery to Jim Crow to mass incarceration to modern-day suppression. The system wasn't just built on racism, it still depends on it. And you can't build trust and unity and long-term prosperity when the foundation is hatred and division. Now let's talk about the power, because America doesn't just chase power, it hoards it. At the very top, power is concentrated in the hands of a few, bought and sold through billion-dollar lobbying firms and dark money. And the people at the bottom, well, they're distracted and divided and disposable. But power with no accountability always turns inward. It eventually devours its own. Then there's greed. America's true religion. Every institution, healthcare, housing, education, even justice is for sale. The rich don't pay taxes, corporations exploit workers, billionaires fly to space while families can't afford insulin. And no emperor has ever survived when it values profit more than people. And finally, exploitation. This country built its wealth off the backs of stolen people on stolen land. And to this day, it thrives off keeping Black, brown, indigenous, immigrant, and poor communities in struggle. It's modern day plantation capitalism, wrapped in flags and hashtags. But here's the warning. You can only ignore the cries of the oppressed for so long before the system breaks. While America continues to argue about whether racism is real, the rest of the world is moving forward, investing in education, universal healthcare, green energy, and collective progress. They're building bridges, America's burning them. And yes, if this country doesn't confront its demons, it will collapse from the inside out. Not because of the lack of greatness, but because of its refusal to share that greatness with everyone. The future won't be stolen by guns or war. It will be lost in boardrooms, courtrooms, and classrooms where equity is denied and truth is buried. And when America falls, it won't be a tragedy. It'll be a consequence.
Is the USA about to attack Iran? Right now, the world is on high alert. President Trump has confirmed that a massive U.S. naval armada is moving toward the Gulf region, with Iran clearly in focus. Aircraft carriers, warships, missile destroyers, and fighter jets are all being repositioned. Trump says, "We're watching Iran very closely," and then added, "We have a big force going in that direction." He claims he doesn't want war, but this kind of military buildup is never routine. This comes after weeks of deadly protests inside Iran, harsh crackdowns, nuclear warnings, and rising pressure from Washington. The U.S. has already shown it's willing to strike Iranian nuclear sites if it believes red lines are crossed. Iran's response? A direct warning. Iran says any U.S. attack will be met with full retaliation, targeting American bases, warships, and allies across the Middle East. That means this won't stay limited. This would drag the entire region into chaos. Right now, no missiles fired, no official strike order, but troops are moving, fleets are sailing, and threats are flying. This is no longer just diplomacy. This is military positioning before a possible storm.
There are reports that they are still burning thousands of protesters alive. They also issued an assassination threat against you over the weekend. I know that you can't talk about what's on the table, but what is your response to Iran's leadership and their regime continuing to taunt you, threaten you, especially given over the weekend you said it's time for new leadership in Iran?
Well, they shouldn't be doing it, but I've left notification. Anything ever happens, we're going to blow the whole country is going to get blown up. So we've, originally Biden should have said something, when they made a statement. We always said, why isn't Biden saying anything? Because he didn't. But a president has to defend a president. Like if I were here and they were making that threat to somebody, not even a president, but somebody like they did with me, I would absolutely hit them so hard. But I have very firm instructions. Anything happens, they're going to wipe them off the face of this earth.
We have a big force going toward Iran.
But let me go through the comments. That's I shared a bunch of also videos before Keith and come on. So let me go through the comments very quickly as we get closer to winding up with today's conversation. Let's see where I left it from. I see earlier we had shout out to George Guy, Karibu Sana. I see you. Hope you had a beautiful weekend. And Karibu Sana to today's conversation. John says, so both murdered ICE victims were 37 years old. Really? I've not seen that yet about the age, but I can confirm that very quickly. 10 Speed says, if you look at the crowd, you'll see no Latinos, no Somalians, very few. They're all white, but the question is, what are they protesting about? That's a good question. And I also see John Mosquito says there are rumors that Trump wants to take down the Ethiopian dam recently built to power the whole country, all because of Egypt saying it's restricting the flow of the Nile River. Keijas Williams Karibu Sana says Trump lied about keeping America out of war. Of course he did from the word go.
Of course he did. You know he don't control nothing. He don't run anything but his mouth. So of course, told you. You know what the people wanted to do. So exactly right. I don't think it was a lie. I think we lied to ourselves to believe it. But go ahead, Joe.
And Cassius Williams says the Zionist is behind all this. Of course, saying the Zionists get the U.S. to do the dirty work. Trump is an oxymoron. And Jiba Jabba says snow blowing is my black job today. God damn. And also see Unsunken One Karibu Sana says, God damn, they all wearing the same suit. Unsunken One
somebody's got to do a Jibba Jabba.
Second one says that makes my back hurt thinking about it. Jibba Jabba. I haven't shoved snow since 1991. And
and I just told you about it. I ain't snow teenager and don't want to do it ever again. Exactly. I just I was a teenager when we first left California. I'm like, man, my mom said, yeah, y'all get out there stuff of this snow. I said, do what? What was happening? Oh no. Go ahead.
I see on Sankenon says Jibba Jabba says, yeah, Tomlin didn't let them fire him. He's a straight up man, took no bullshit from the racist Pittsburgh fan and press. Okay. And yeah, Juba says the tune changed on to step down or retired. Retired after fans weren't talking shit. I'm not getting that convo where it's coming from, but I also see Samuel in the building saying gold is above 5,000. Wow. Last week it was just 48. Now it's above $5,000. God damn. That's crazy.
You know why? No, it ain't crazy. I told you it's gonna go. You know why? Because the dollar's collapsing. Now because they've been suppressing gold ever. They can suppress it because the dollar had some kind of value, or fake perceived fake value. Now the dollar's collapsing. More the dollar keeps collapsing, so real money, real assets gonna go up and up and up. So now I'm down in Western Kenya, digging my gold, get my ounce of gold, getting $2, and the white man's getting $5.
Crazy. Juma says second largest oil reserve. Samuel says, "Hi Joby, could you buy me some silver and mail it to me? It should be that cheap over there." Well, I wish I could. I really can. Literally, I just don't know how I can ship it over
It's
to
not,
you.
it's not cheap in Africa either. It's not cheap in Africa. Silver's going. I think silver's almost $100 now.
Well, I'm sorry, kid. I know people who know people, so yeah, I can get it at a very cheap price, literally at a very cheap. Because I've grown up wearing silvers, and I'd still go back to that because they're affordable. But gold is quite more expensive for us than silver. That's all I'd say. Jibba says 15 inches up here. That's so sad, but yeah, Keith, maybe you can continue as we literally get to closer to winding up, but literally continue. Maybe if you have anything more you'd like to add still under the same conversation.
Yeah, so we're talking. Yeah, we're talking about what you see now is that they're going after Iran. That, and when Joey said M16, no, M16, it's MI6 is the name of the British spy organization, Joey. America's called America's called the CIA, British called MI6, and all controlled by the hats. And Israel's called the Mossad. Through deception, we wage war. That's their mouth. Through deception, we wage war. So what you see is now they thought since they thought it'd be a good time because during the summer they found out that Iran was not a pushover. They weren't going to just be able to go in and destroy Iran. And so they had all the spies set up. So they figured, with a little more priming right now, a little more priming, they'd be able to have Iran in the chaos again. Like Joey read the article, that's what they do. That's what they do in Africa. That's what they do. You know how many spies are running around Africa? Shit. How many spies are in Africa? Spies everywhere in fucking Africa. Most Africans don't have no idea that spy work is going on. So they figured now would be the best time to go and strike, since they showed that Iran can fight. So they wanted to destroy Iran from within, because they didn't want to. They see they couldn't fight Iran in a real head-to-head war, because Iran has enough military power now to do some damage. So they thought they would go overthrow them from within. That was the scam. We're going to go in. We're going to cause disruption. And people don't. I don't know what Joey's finding these good articles for. They tell a lot of the truth, because we know it's the banking families. And then what you say that, it's the power, and Trump is a puppet. Trump sits around shitting on himself. Smell like doo-doo, feces. He's a puppet of these banking families. He's like they just come out and meant Trump has made more money being president he's ever made in his life. Imagine that. You ain't more money being a president than he's ever made in his business career, because he's a failure. Trump ain't never did no damn business that ever succeeded. I would tell my white privilege. When you get to fail over and over again and still pretend to be a billionaire. It's like, and if you're black and you fail, you're gone. But I think we're going to pull back now. because they had every intention to invade. That's why the Navy's been sent over there. They had every intention they were going to invade. But now, a lot of the Mossad and the CIA agents and MI16, MI6, have been found out. Shout out to Iran, boy, to be able to dig all these spots because they knew, they just watched the crowds, who's instigating the crowds. So they were tracking these people, and they start. Remember, this take to do good spy work. In countries like Iran, you got 30 years of being an asset, being a sleeper cell, just being like you got a school teacher or you driving a bus or something. You got to be quiet for years, 20, 25, 30 years. So they broke down their whole spy network. The whole spy network has been destroyed. So ain't gonna be no invading no Iran at all. That's out. The whole spy network has been destroyed. The majority of it, they sure got spies that still haven't been compromised, but the majority of spy work in Iran has been destroyed. And so, when you do that, you ain't got to worry about nobody talking about, oh, we're here to be all them fake terms. We're here about democracy. Same thing Jared Kushner's talking about, oh, freedom. We're going to be a peace commission, all that goofy shit. These motherfuckers don't give a shit about no peace or nobody else. Oh, we're going to do a peace commission. And they've been peaceful in their life. So what you see is a cannibalization of Europe. You guys can see, recently, the Art County, they all said that Davos, the World Economic Forum, all the wicked motherfuckers, right? The Legion of Doom. They all go to the Legion of Doom controlled by the Rothschild, the Legion of Doom, all talking, right? And so you had the Prime Minister of Canada say the quiet part out loud, that there never was any rule-based thing over the globe. It was always these white countries stealing and robbing from everybody. Right? So let's be honest now. Let's say call a spade a spade. There's never been any rule-based system over the world. They were told the stupid Africans. Yeah, you gotta follow the rule-based organization, democracy, and all that old goofy shit. And those are damn lie. And so, everybody wants to run rogue now. So that's what you got going on now. Is that Europe is in decline. That's all. Europe and everybody else is really going to try to go back to Africa openly. Any puppet that's not doing their bid, they're going to open, so they're going to kill them. They'll get rid of them with the quickness. They don't got to go. Because Europe is in such dire straits. Really can't be silent. So, that's what you got Trump and them saying openly. Europe is garbage. So you got America abandoning Europe. America saying, goofy Europeans, they're broke, they're poor. And you got the white supremacists being honest. Europe didn't allow too many black and brown people up in there too. They didn't hold the line on white supremacists, white power. So, we're gonna let them go and just go under. Right? Because Europe doesn't have enough white people in there no more. That's what the white people in America say, we don't got enough white people no more to defend white supremacy. So, France, Germany, England, they're all destroyed and shit. They're all broke. They're impoverished, right? So now, they tell me they're going to go to war against America with what? We got no money for no weapons. Man, America's been propping up. I'm going to Joey play this. And this is fun. This is called, they were shaming Macron. Go to YouTube, not YouTube, TikTok and say, President Trump tells Macron, you're going to do whatever I tell you to do. They tell Macron, hey, you're going to up these prices, and then you're going to do it. He said, no, I'm not. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. We'll destroy your ass. Because Europe is broke, guys. Europe is a fake power. It's done. And you Africans live in Europe, you better get ready to get the fuck out of there. Because you think America going to go broke once the dollar cut? Oh, your currency's even more fucked up, that fake euro, your fake British pound. Your money's more garbage than the damn American dollar. And you make nothing in Europe. Nothing's made in Europe. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Well, you know Emmanuel Macron. Macron. I love the French accent. Emmanuel. They said, listen, you're going to have to raise your prices a little.
Man, I love Trump's voice, man.
Emmanuel. You know Emmanuel Macron.
And you're going to do it. And you're going to do it.
Emmanuel.
And he said no. I said, yeah.
Listen, you're going to have to raise your prices a little bit because we're paying 14 times more than you. Emmanuel goes, no, no, no. We will not do that. Yes, you will, Emmanuel, 100%. The answer is no. We're not going to double our drug prices. Not for you or anybody else. I said, yes, you are, 100%. We are not going to do it. No, 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 you don't understand. 100%. You're going to do it and you're going to like it. I said, okay, here's the story, Emmanuel. If on Monday you haven't agreed to every single thing that we want.
Every guys don't know, America's been subsidized in Europe. That's why Europe, pause. That's why Europe can have health care for free and all that shit, because America's been subsidized in Europe. America's saying we're not subsidizing none of you goofy motherfuckers no more. You're worthless, you're broke, you don't got any military might. You know, this white people going back to white, they turn on each other. Hey, you goofy Europeans didn't keep you white. You don't got no money. We've been subsidizing you bum motherfuckers. Your countries are too black and too brown, and we cut you off. Go ahead, Joe.
Including your wines, your champagnes, and everything else. Emmanuel said to me, Donald, you have a deal. I would love to increase my prescription drug prices by 200% or whatever. I would love to do it. It'd be such an honor. Whatever you want, Donald, please. Don't tell the population. Please, Donald, I beg you. Every country said the same thing. No, 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 we will do this. Some were strong, some were very nice, some were rude.
So understand what this is doing. This is Trump embarrassing all Europeans, saying you're weak and you'll do what the fuck you're told to do. Go ahead, Shelby.
But they all said one thing, no, we won't. And within, I'd say on average, 3.2 minutes.
3.2 minutes, they all say yeah.
Saying we would be honored to quadruple our drug prices.
We'd be honored. You say, Macron, say we'd be honored to quadruple our drug prices for you, Trump. Of course you will. Go ahead, Trump.
Any response to President Macron saying he will not join the border?
Oh, did he say that? Well, nobody wants him because he's going to be out of office very soon. So, you know, that's all right. What I'll do is if they feel like Costco, I'll put a 200% tariff on his wines and champagnes, and he'll join. But he doesn't have to join. If he said that, you're probably giving it to me a little bit differently. But if he actually did say that, but as you know, he's going to be out of office in a few.
But I'd say to the head of France, as an example, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to double or triple your prices for drugs. No, 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 we will not do that. Oh, yes, you will. I said, yes, you will. 100%. No, no, no. We will not do that. Of course we will not. I can't do that. I said, yes, you will. No, I won't. Yes, you will. And he said, why do you have such certainty? I said, because if you don't do it, I'm going to charge you a 25% tariff on everything you sell into America. But
prenez l'exemple du président français, je l'aime bien.
Emmanuel.
We have to have it. They have to have this done. They can't protect it. Denmark, they're wonderful people. And I know the leaders are very good people, but they don't even go there. And, you know, because the boat went there 500 years ago and then left, that doesn't give you title to
Look at my Greenland.
So we'll be talking about it with the various people. We've had tremendous success. And I've done more for NATO than anybody else. I don't think you'd have NATO right now. I got them to go 5% and pay as opposed to 2% and not pay. I've done more than any other American president for NATO.
I did everything. I'm the best. I did everything. Oh, crazy.
Very important.
All right.
Then you got to rewrite it with Greenland. Oh, the hacks wanted. The cats with the hats won it. That's why. Go read it. There's a whole document. Came out 30 years ago. The cats with the hats won it. That's what. That's why. Go ahead, Joker.
Yeah, let me go through the comments. Literally, as we get closer to winding up, I don't know if you have anything more you'd still love to add on that. On top of that, I see Samuel was saying that. Okay, Jason says that what's going on in Europe is the same as the movie Children of Men, and I don't know which movie is that.
Exactly. You talking about children? Yeah, that movie's like 20 years old, Samuel. You got it on Amazon. It's called Children of Men, Joe. So it's a movie about when they know there's no more babies being born except for one. And guess, there's no more babies being born in the world, Joby. But it's one woman, I'm sure you can guess, one woman that's able to give birth. And what color do you think that she is, Joby?
Black.
How about that? Yeah, that's the movie.
That looks interesting. I'm gonna look for it. Also see Jiba Jaba says Trump is cold. He doesn't give a F. And Ricky says the commanding chief is a gangster. And Jerome just says that free healthcare always be pissing that is kicked off. And someone says
it don't piss me off. I know what it don't piss me off. I'm glad you guys got it. I'm glad you guys got free healthcare. You've been subsidized by us. I'm glad you got. Every country has some free fucking health care, all right? That's part of your citizenship, right? But America doesn't have. We know America didn't have because of the racism here and also the subsidy of other countries. Remember, Europe was destroyed after World War II. You guys didn't have shit. We rebuilt that fucked up place and gave you guys free health care. America subsidized Europe. And so America said, we're not subsidizing you bastards no more. You got too many people like Joe Mosquito. Got too many niggas and Arabs up in there now, and we're tired of seeing them. So, that's what. So, as they say, Europe has been mongrelized. Too many goddamn non-white people now in Europe.
Samuel says
Women said it's not worth saving you guys no more. Go ahead, Joe.
Sorry, I think the internet was lagging. I see someone says, man, I'm getting ready to go back to Jamaica right now. Cayman is propped up by investors. And someone also says,
oh, good luck when you go back to Jamaica, Samuel. Hey, you ain't if you're going to the beach, you won't be able to go on none of your beaches. So good luck with that, brother. Yeah, your beaches are gone. So you can look at the beach from somewhere else, but everybody done bought you guys beaches up to keep your ass off of them. Go ahead.
I also see someone says certainly not money laundering, and says I wouldn't go to Africa, but I want to see the lay of the land first. Okay. Also says most Jamaicans know what's happening, but are cowardly. John Mosquito says isn't Greenland owned by one of Trump's best friend?
No. Greenland is part of the Dutch Empire. Man, when all white 40 years ago, they stole and steal and robbed and killed, right? They're just stealing shit. So that's why Trump said, you said Trump but you play. So you brought your boat here 500 years ago and you left. Who said this belonged to you? He just said, Trump just said, you Dutch people came here 500 years ago and landed, and then you left. Who said this Greenland belongs to you? But you got the Greenlandians who live there said they don't be part of America. And of course not. We don't want to give out free health care. They get free health care in Greenland. We don't want to come and have to pay no money for no health care. What benefit we get to be an American? Nothing. They get free school in Greenland. Free health care. What the fuck would I want to become an American? They said we don't want to be part of no fucking America. But why? Well, we got to pay for health care? Health care is free and good. The answer is no, exactly. Who the fuck want to become an American citizen when you got to pay all this shit and you go broke? Ain't nobody want to become no American. Except for the goopy African that doesn't know how the world works. America. They doing all that propaganda. America, let's go to America, yeah. Greenland said, we don't be part of no fucking America. Are you crazy? And be broke? Hell, we want to do that for? So even the people of Greenland are saying no, but they don't care because the cats want it. Right? The Greenland already said we don't want to be part of America. We don't want to have to pay for no health care and pay for fucked up colleges.
And I also see John Mosquito says, Joby, that movie is older than you. Thank you, John Mosquito, for reminding me. I appreciate you.
That movie was that older. That movie was that older, Joe. But Joe was like 7 years old when that came out. 7 or 8.
We catch up, John Mosquito. Speed says we are going to miss Trump when he leave the office. He's a comedy 24/7. I know, that's crazy. The comedy part, hell yeah. But not you're not gonna miss him as president.
You're not gonna miss him. You're not gonna miss. They're trying to build. You're not gonna miss him because they're gonna try to put JD Vance. They're trying to build a whole dictatorship now. See if you're gonna accept it. And then you know why you're not gonna miss him. Also with that, you're gonna have a collapse in economy. Hopefully they try to keep it together. So hey, and shout out to the white supremacists. The white supremacists know it's their hats. And the trend is so funny. Control, even though Trump's a white supremacist, he's controlled by the hats. But the other white supremacists who don't want to be controlled by the hats, they know what the hats are trying to do is destroy their hats. So you might have open war here because the other white supremacists know it's the hats. They tell you, they know it's the hats that's destroying their ass.
Tespi said Trump had me laughing at least 3 times a day. On some crazy shit that came out of his mouth. I love the white ignorance. Yeah, I love his brutal talk. He's awesome with it. I kind of like it too. White supremacy is a wake-up call. That is John Mosquito. But yeah, those are the last comments. You want to add, Keith, maybe as we wind
up? No, that's it. How was your night out, Joe? We had a good time?
Yeah, oh my God, I had a good time. Thank you for asking.
You did? I mean, we didn't do the show Friday because Joby was out shaking her tail feather.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what's that?
That's dancing, Joby. Dancing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was doing that thing. Literally, I was having fun. I had so much fun. Came back, went to the spa, got my massage, my body scrub, got my hair done, got my nails done.
How is Josephine and Hannah? They good?
Yeah, they're good. They're good. They're doing amazing. They said hi.
How was that?
Yeah.
You'll be out in the town, living it out.
Yeah, it's been a minute. When did you guys last?
Been a long time, but you needed that. Joby needed that because you guys didn't know Joby had a death in the family. Joby's dog died.
Yeah, my dog died last week, literally.
So this you had to go out and celebrate, with the friends, both friends,
I had a good time. But yeah, much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful.
Much love, family.
Guys, tomorrow, same time, same time, same place, right here on the media of the 21st century. In case you haven't subscribed, can you ensure you do? In case you're just catching up with the shows, ensure you literally download the app so you can catch up with them even on repeat. So see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place.